Hello friend, myself is Dr. Shoma. I'm a homeopathic physician. I'm practicing homeopathy since last 14 years. Today I'm going to discuss about few medical emergency conditions and homeopathic medicine related with those conditions. And you will find it very hard to believe that how homeopathic medicine can overcome several types of medical emergency conditions very quickly and very miraculously if you won't see it in front of your eyes. And for that you have to keep few homeopathic medicine along with you, and from today you keep few homeopathic medicine in your first aid box. And today's my point which I am going to discuss about are food poisoning and in brain injury, internal bleeding, then food allergy, heart attack, and last one is burn. And at first my first point is food poisoning. What is food poisoning? What are the symptoms of food poisoning? Food poisoning symptoms are just simply you add symptoms of fever and diarrhea. And during fever, what happened? People used to suffer from fever, chill, headache, congestion, nausea sometimes, and in case of diarrhea also you may suffer from loose motion and headache, vomiting or nausea like symptoms. And if you get both the symptoms of diarrhea and fever, these are the symptoms of food poisonings. And for food poisonings, there will be a history of sharing or consuming some poisonous food or any food which is cooked in your at your home may somehow get poisonous or get infected, and after consuming which several family members of your family used to suffer from same type of symptoms and signs, and this way you come to know that you are suffering from food poisoning. If the food was cooked inside your home, then several family member will be suffered from, and if the preparation was for the much people, then much people will get infected after consuming those poisonous or infected food. For food poisoning, you just imagine the symptoms of the fever and diarrhea. These are the sign and symptoms of food poisoning, and along with the history of consuming poisonous food. To overcome the food poisoning, you have to take Nux vomica 200 state, and if the condition persists for the second days, then you have to take the another dose on the second days. Otherwise one dose will be enough to overcome the food poisoning. So you can see how easily only just with a single globules you can overcome the food poisoning case. So don't take Nux vomica in your empty stomach because Nux vomica act well if you take the medicine after eating any solid foods. For food poisoning, we in homeopathy we are prescribing several types of medicine for food poisoning. My next point is brain injury, and this point is very important for those people who have kids or baby at their home, because there is more chances of fall or trauma, and your brain get injury only if you get injured on your brain head, bite, fall, collision or accident, etc. You have to know what are the signs and symptoms of brain injury, because only injury to your head always does not mean injury to your brain. And brain injury signs and symptoms are like the blurred visions, nausea, vomiting, headache, and tingling or ringing on your ears, and this type of sign and symptoms occurs immediately after fall. And you have to know about the brain injury signs, and especially there is chances of brain injury if you fall on your back, means if backside of the head get more injury during your fall. And whenever you get any people or any patient who is showing this type of sign and symptoms during his fall, then immediately give him a dose of hypericum 200, because there you won't get any medicine which will act so fast on brain injury cases. And then only you go for CT scan and all, because wasting time is wasting of life, and it's a emergency conditions, and you have to give immediately hypericum 200 potency. So you keep hypericum 200 in your car, in your journey bag. If you are going for any sports activity, then keep it along with you. And from today you keep hypericum 200 potency in your first aid box. My next point is internal bleeding. Suppose that patient who have fall and get brain injury, and now on his CT scan you come to know that that particular patient is suffering from now internal bleeding, or there is several active bleeding spot inside his brain, and your common medicine is not acting doing well. Then you can give Hamalis 200 to stop internal bleeding. There is several other cases also where there is chances of internal bleeding, like this after surgery or after fall or after broken bone. My next point is food allergy. It especially occurs after intake of any food which is rich in protein, especially animal protein, or any food to which you are allergic to, and you may suddenly suffer from skin allergy or rashes, or sometimes redness of your eyes, itching, and nausea, vomiting, or any other condition like breathlessness, sudden stomachache, vomiting, diarrhea, or onset of any chronic disease, or aggravation of any chronic disease after consuming of any allergic food may occur. And if you are already suffering from piles, breathlessness, skin eruption, chronic sinusitis, or constipation, that type of disease may get aggravated after consuming any food which is you are allergic to. Though several medicines are prescribed in homeopathic for food allergy, here I am going to advise one single and very simple medicine after consuming which you won't suffer from any unnecessary aggravations or disease aggravation, and that is Thuja occidentalis. You can take Thuja occidentalis 1 dose 1 mg for a single day to overcome this food allergy conditions. And because here my topic is to overcome your any emergency condition at your home, so just buy Thuja occidentalis and keep it at your home to overcome your food allergy cases. My another point is heart attack. Myocardial infarctions or the heart attack occurs when blood flow decreases or stop to a part of your heart. What happens during heart attacks? In common language, your heart stops to work for a while, and causes include like the congenital heart disease, coronary artery disease, high BP, excessive alcohol drinking, smoking, stress, and drug abuse, and etc. So during heart attack, our aim is to restart our heart again, and for that you will get very little time to take the patient to the hospital. That's why most of the patients die on their way to hospital, because if after heart attack your heart again do not start to work, then patient will die. And if the heart again somehow manage to pump the blood, then the patient will survive. So if you can give Califos and Magfos 2 tablet during heart attack or immediately after heart attack, and after 15 minutes again the 2 tablet of Califos and Macphos, then patient may survive. Macphos and Califos, then you can give half an hourly, and now you will overcome the situations of the heart attack. Then you can take the patient to the hospital. And Califos and Macphos is totally 100% safe because it's a biochemic tablets. It's totally safe. It won't give any kind of damage to your heart or any other organs. As the patient may be unconscious during the heart attack, so it's better if you crush the tablet and then only give the tablets in a powder form to the patient's mouth, so that it do not obstructs on the airways of the patient. So we have to keep it on our mind. So you can see that for the heart attack patients, we get very little time, so you have nothing to do except cardiac massage and all. If you give Califos and Macphos to them, then there is more chances of surviving of patients, because as we know, our brain used to control all the organs of our body, like the kidney, heart, liver, and pancreas, and all. Phosphate of the Califos is a constituent of the brain and the nerve, the muscles, and of the blood corpuscle. Macphos or magnesia phosphate, molecules of the magnesia phosphate are found chiefly in the white fibers of the nerve muscles. When deficiency of this magnesia phos salt occurs, muscle fiber contract and produces spasms or cramp-like conditions. Characteristics pains of the phosphate of the magnesium are the cutting, piercing, and stabbing, knife-like, and shooting, stitching, lighting-like, and incoming and going. Same are the characteristics of the pain suffered by the patients during their heart attacks. And thus, if we give Califos and Macphos tablet during heart attack or immediately after the heart attack of the patients, then both the medicine will act parallelly on the brain, nerve, and the muscles of the heart. Thus, the heart attack is an acute condition on the chronic diseases of the heart. Once you overcome this situation for 72 hours, you will get time to take the patient to the hospitals, or you can proceed for the further investigations or treatment of the patient for his heart disease or what is the cause of the heart disease. My last point is burn, and for burn, for small or less percentage of burn, you can apply cantharis ointment on the place of burn. And for the severe burn, to overcome the complications of burn, you can take cantharis 2 dose internally or orally, so that you can easily overcome the complications of the burn. So keep cantharis ointment and cantharis 200 potency at your home in your first aid box. So this way, if you keep few homeopathic medicines like Thuja, Nax vomica, Hypericum, Hamamelis, and Califos, Macphos, cantharis, there are so many lots of medicines. If you keep with you, you can easily overcome the medical emergency conditions within few minutes, very easily and very miraculously. So keep them from today in your first aid box. Thank you for watching my video.